Welcome 3BC, Jim the Skunk Whisperer here, and you're going to get the behind the scenes of Buddha's Tiki Bar and Lounge and what I enjoy doing for a hobby, and that's making wine. We're going to go through a few of the different steps on how to make wine from kits. We're going to start with a sour cherry dessert wine, but a couple things you need to know ahead of time. First and foremost, you got to crack open a bottle that you've made. A year old, if they've lasted that long, is always a good way to go. This was a 2018 Zinfandel I made, so it's got some age on it. Oh, wonderful aromas, oakiness. I'll be honest, I'm trying to emulate 7 Deadly Zins and I don't quite have it down, but I've done pretty darn good. The other thing is you want to do is, bleach is not a true sanitizer, so you need to make sure all your equipment's clean and stuff like that. Potassium metabisulfite. Alright, so we're going to dig into the box. Look at all the goodies we have. So, most of your ingredients in these kits come in easy to use, handy dandy, pre-portioned, pre-done. They don't all, but this one even came with its own labels that we won't use. Forget that. I make my own labels. So there'll be a few different ingredients on a few of the different steps. This should be oak. This is a toasted oak. That's going to be a great additional flavor in this. And here is your juice concentrate. Can't smell it through the bag, but I'm getting the aromatics in my head. Let's get it going. All right, first step, bentonite. So if you're not familiar with bentonite, what it is, it's volcanic clay that will help, a lot of times in red wines, as a binding agent for the yeast and everything else, but it'll help decloud it early on and keep everything together. So we are actually doing a double batch because these kits only make 3 gallons. We're using a 6-gallon bucket. You want to have as little air as possible, so I didn't want to do just a 3-gallon batch. So I'm mixing my bentonite. I'm going to use lukewarm water, that's the way it dissolves. But one of the trick is always use lukewarm and not hot, because too hot will actually kill the yeast when we get to that stage. Catch it before it gets too hot. Stir, 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 big fun. You want to mix it in really well though, so it'll dissolve in the... Add a little bit more water, make sure we get most of it out. Now for the really cool part. First, take another sip, because it's a long process. Okay, not really a long process, but it's a good reason to justify some vino. All right. So, these bags are actually pretty heavy. You probably can't see it. And these lids are very difficult to get off. All right, once you get it off, want to squeeze the top so that this way it's not leaking out, so you make sure it's in line and slowly open it. Because concentrated grape juice, you think wine stains, you should see this stuff. We need to start stirring. So you got these little handy dandy stir sticks. This is for the bucket side. This is actually for the carboy, so it'll actually get into that little hole. So you stir. Alright guys, this is taking forever. So let's talk about equipment. We're giving up on the stir stick. So let's talk power tools. So they make this really cool little adapter that actually, it can go into the carboy or the bucket. Goes into the carboy that way, and then once you spin it, it opens up, hooks up to most any drill. Make sure your drill, if it has multiple speeds, that you are on slow, because it'll whip this stuff around. Now you can order these through your purveyor. We actually have them. These are, actually they're almost about the same price, so go ahead, get one of these. Now watch what this does. All right, we're almost done with step one. Family's home for the day. So we're going to get this step wrapped up. Now, once that's all mixed in really well, you put in the oak. Oak comes in different forms. This one's coming out almost like sawdust. Don't worry, because you end up siphoning it out in a later step. And don't forget, we're doing double batches, so we got 2 things oak. Alright, time for the yeast. Now, a lot of ones only come with 1 package. It's a dessert wine. It's got a higher alcohol content. So this actually came with 2, which means we will be using 4. Now, I do not stir in the yeast. The reason you don't stir in the yeast is because you want it eating all the sugars as it goes down. You also want to make sure everything is at room temperature or above. Again, not too hot, but the warmer the climate, the quicker the yeast starts eating. So ideally, most growth is body temperature. All right, so step 1 is done. Now we're going to put the lid on. Here's a little trick to putting the lid on. 1, sanitize water in there. Put this on before you put the lid on. What will happen is this creates airtight where it lets air out. It doesn't let air in. And if you try to put it on second, the pressure will actually take this little black plug and push it in when you're trying to push this down. So you want that in first. Alright, now I keep painter's tape around because what you want to do is mark what it is and the date you did it. Now, a lot of people, including the instructions, will tell you to take specific gravity. I don't do that. I just make good wine. So guys, we're going to be on to step 2.